And if it's comfortable for you, just gradually lying down with a little bit of attention. So you start seated and just gradually lie down. If this is not comfortable, just lie down any way that you can. Just gradually coming down as you exhale. And then I've got a wall where my feet are, which I really recommend. It's a nice prop to help you ground. If this is not comfortable for your lower back, bend your knees. Bring your feet wide and angle them in. So one of those poses, Supine, this position, or a modification of what Mr. Iyengar calls alignment pose. And in that position, whatever you choose, you're just going to start inhaling, bringing your arms up, tuck your chin in, and exhale, coming down. Inhale, expanding the belly. If you know how to do chest belly breath, do that. Your arms, they might not go higher than this. For those of you with shoulder issues, you can bend your elbows like this. You can bring your arms to a bolster or to a pillow behind you, or you can just bend them and then exhale, coming down. You could also just bring your arms at the sides on the floor to your spot. Let's try that again. Choose your modification. Inhale. Tucking the chin in at the top if that's comfortable. And exhale. Feel free to put something under your head if this is bothering you. I'm just going to make sure you're all on mute. Just keep that going. Yep, looks good. Now, if it's comfortable, we're going to add, as we exhale, a ha sound. You can keep that going if you like, or adding Brahmari Pranayama, the bee breath, a humming sound. So you can do that ha breath or the bee breath. Just feeling your feet at the end of the exhale, whether your legs are long or your legs are bent. So exhale all the way down the front body. Like water's flowing down from your head all the way to your feet. Inhale. And as you do this, notice the movement of your lower back. As you inhale, it arches. As you exhale, it contracts towards the floor. 2 more times, your own timing. Inhale. And just rest for a minute. Just notice the natural rise and fall of the breath. Notice where you feel your breath rising and falling. Is it the belly? Is it the chest? Is it both? And maybe saying to yourself, inhale, let, exhale, go. Sanskrit for this is inhale Om, exhale Namo. And when you're ready, just grabbing your pillow or your bolster, placing it between your legs. So that it's on the ground, the weight of it is on the ground, and you're just going to be pressing into it, just to give you more awareness of the inner leg line. And I call this the mula loop, or the root loop that goes from one foot up the leg, inner leg, along the pelvic floor, down the other leg to the other foot. So as you inhale, release the pillow, the knees come apart. And as you exhale, draw them together by contracting the pelvic floor, lower belly, belly button in, the lower back goes to the floor. Press into that pillow, and then inhale, release. This is something you can do anytime you want to take a little yoga break when you're feeling a bit ungrounded, unsettled. It just will help connect you to your root, like a carrot growing in the ground below the soil. The soil would be at about the pelvic floor or belly button level, and then just drawing it all in and up. Now adding a hold after exhale if you like, 2 to 3 seconds, and then inhale, release. Just keep this going your own timing. The exhale from the pelvic floor, lower belly, belly button in, press into the pillow or bolster, hold after exhale. 2 to 3 seconds, inhale, release. Adding Ujjayi pranayama if you like, constricting the throat as you exhale. Making that ha sound with the mouth closed and through the nose. Now moving to the next step, if this is comfortable for you, you're going to exhale, you're going to squeeze that bolster pillow and gradually tuck the tail under as you exhale and lift just the hips, just the hips. Inhale in the position, you can lift a little bit higher. As you inhale, you can bring those knees apart on the pillow and lift a little bit higher if you want, or just stay where you are and exhale, release. So if you have spinal stenosis, for example, you might want to just keep the pelvis neutral when you're coming up there. So exhale, tucking the tail under, you'll feel the tail tuck under, the lower back going to the floor, and just press into that pillow and lift the hips up. You can just stay here if you like, or if you can, inhale, lift higher still, and going into Dvipadipedam. I have the arms down so the focus is more on the lower body, and then exhale. pulling up from the pelvic floor to the belly button as you come down. Inhale, take a break. Release the legs. Exhale, pelvic floor, lower belly, belly button in. Start to tuck that tail under and lift just the hips up. So the lower back and hips isolated here. Stay here if you like, or on your inhale, lift higher and go into the chest and belly as you arch the whole spine. Maybe bring the chin in. And exhale, coming down. Again, if arching the back doesn't work for your body, you can skip that part, that lift. Inhale, release the legs. Exhale, pelvic floor, lower belly, belly button in, tucking the tail under. So you're gradually scooping the tail under, lifting the hips, squeezing that bolster, that block, that pillow. Inhale, lift higher, bring the knees apart. See if you can lift higher. Exhale, pelvic floor, lower belly, belly button in, squeeze the pillow. And gradually come down. One more time. So this is strength, flexibility, and grounding. Exhale, tuck the tail under, breathing from the pelvic floor to the belly button, just lifting the hips up. Inhale, you can stay here or lift higher, releasing those knees, lift higher. And exhale, squeezing into the center and gradually coming down. So my teachers say you can do inhale poses on exhale, but you can't do exhale poses on inhale. So we can move on exhale both directions. So that's for the teachers in the room, because there's a few of you, and yoga therapists, actually all of you. So just take a minute and release that bolster and just notice how you feel. You might feel a bit of energy through the inner leg line. If you like, as a counter, I'm just going to create a bit more space for myself here. Just going to go side to side and use this slightly non-classical counter, which my teacher in India started using as a counter for Dvipadipedam, which I was happy to see. Inhale, center, exhale, side. Just the windshield wipers. If you want to add the rotation of the head, you can. Just be careful according to what's going on for your neck, or if you've got some vertigo going on, just be a little bit mindful of this movement. If you do add the turn of the head, try to bring the back of the head towards the shoulder. Inhale, center, exhale, other side. And if you've been sitting a lot today, I hope you haven't, but if you have, this is a great counter to that, and it's starting to work on the psoas. One of you mentioned a tight psoas, and this is a great one just to start getting in there. Now, if you're feeling comfortable staying, you can stay in the position and work more with that connective tissue by staying. Inhale, scooping the hip under and going towards the side you're on. So my legs are towards the right, and I'm scooping my pelvis towards the right. As I inhale, I feel stretch through that left psoas and then release. Inhale, I'm stretching. I'm doing a kind of a back arch, and then exhale, I'm releasing. So I do the inhale as I arch the back there. You could probably justify it both ways. Inhale. Exhale. If this is too much, just keep it windshield wipering side to side. And notice the effect in the shoulders. So if you've got a shoulder injury, you might need your arms lower. So I forgot to cue for that. You can also bring them higher. It will have a different effect. Sometimes I just bring my opposite arm up. So my left arm is up and my knees are to the right. So that's a different kind of modification. So you can play with those. Inhale, center, exhale, other side. Again, decide whether you're going to turn the head. So my knees are left, I would turn my head right. If I were doing that rotation, I'm not going to myself. Inhale, scooping the hips towards the left. Because of this arch, I'm not adding my head to it. Exhale, release. So just be a little careful if you have neck issues for that. Inhale, tucking the tail under, scooping towards the left or whatever side you're on. And exhale, release. Notice the effect on the opposite shoulder. My right shoulder is being affected by this. Inhale. Notice the effect on the right psoas and the thigh. So that's going into the thigh now. And release. I'm going to do one more similar pose. My teacher in India sometimes calls this zigzag. Your feet are as wide as your mat, and it's a modification of Jatraparvriti, the twisting of the fire in the belly. So one knee at a time. So you can start with your left classically, or modify your right. I'm showing my right just because it's closest to the camera for you to see. I'm bringing the knee down towards my left big toe. My left knee is up to the sky, and I'm stretching the psoas, the hip, and the quad of the right side. So legs, we got some legs here, some quad work, inhale, and some hip work. Exhale, other side. So feel like someone's pulling that left knee down to your right toe. If you have a bunion, you might have a little bit of pain here. You might want to add a cushion under your feet. Inhale, center, thicker mat. All things you can do. Side to side. Again, play with where you want the arms. Try to keep that opposite knee up. Now, some of you might want to stay on one side. Some of you will be able to take it more intensely. This is only for a few of you in the class, but you could bring that right foot like this and go into an Ekapada Virasana. Just be careful, okay? This is not for everyone. So otherwise, just your knee is going towards the toe, you're hanging out. And if you're doing what I'm showing right now, the foot could be further away from the buttocks as well. You could also straighten that left leg. So pick your modification appropriately. You do not want to have an increase of suffering in anything you do. Coming back to the center, we want to decrease suffering, not increase it. Coming back to the center, going the other side, I'm bringing my left knee towards my right toe. That might be my pose, or you can go side to side. Or if you feel like you want to take it up a notch, you can start inching that left foot towards your left buttocks and just see where you're at. Maybe straightening that right leg. You can also, this is from my Iyengar teacher, Lindsay Whalen, putting a right hand under that right buttocks. And that can help balance the pelvis. So these are all things you could try. I've got many levels in the class. And this is focused on the quad and the psoas. And you could stay there a long time, but we are going to come out. And let us do a very simple counter just to Get those legs moving. So Apanasana, knees to chest. Exhale, knees towards the chest, and then adding Urdhva Prasarita Padasana, legs up. You can hold them just like this, or some of you might bring your arms overhead. Exhale, bringing your knees to your chest. Very feather light touch of the knees, or what I do, because I tend to wrench my knees in with my hands, is I will just use my pelvic floor to my belly button, the mula lock, to move my legs. You can also hold behind your knees. So pick what modification works for you. Some of you with less mobility, you could have your legs up on a chair and do it from there. You can also do one leg at a time. So I'll just show some of those modifications. For psoas issues, you could also do one leg at a time, like this. And then at some point you'd need to switch sides. That's the one I'm going to settle on today. So pick your modification. Ekapada, one leg at a time or both legs. And when you feel ready, we're going to release that. We're going to work together now, working on one leg at a time. Your legs straight or legs bent. I'm going to show first with the legs straight and then bent. So exhale, I'm again starting with my right leg, but feel free to start with your left, which is classical. So I'm just getting a message here from Zoom that I'm going to close. Stay there for a moment. Okay. So inhale, arms coming up. And exhale, you're going to gradually draw that right leg or your left leg in and hug your knee to your chest. Inhale, other side. Now, you can do this if this is not comfortable with the legs bent. I'm going to show that in a minute. So if this hurts your lower back, to have the legs straight in the beginning position, have your legs bent. And here's the modification. Try to use your pelvic floor to move that leg. And this actually makes you use your core a bit more than the straight-legged version, even though it looks simpler, but it can be harder if you do it very mindfully and slowly. So you can play with that. So Ekapada Apanasana, side to side. And we're going to add on that full leg stretch in a minute that we started warming up towards. So if you like, adding on, exhale, the knee is in, and then inhale, leg up to the sky, and again, that other leg could be bent. Exhale, knee to the chest. You can hold underneath the knee or on top. Inhale, extend it out. You can bring it just to the floor or extend it out. Other side, exhale, drawing it in, pelvic floor, lower belly, belly button in, and trying to use my mula, my core, to move that leg. I'm pulling my knee in a little bit just to give my back a nice stretch. Inhale, extending up. Exhale, drawing in. Inhale, stretching out. So this is some work for the knees. It's working with the knee joint of the leg that's moving. Working with the hamstrings and the calves for the leg that's coming up and even into that plantar area of below the foot. Working with the ankles, moving those ankles. As you exhale, you can flex the toes towards the nose, or in this case, I'm actually going to point And then on the inhale, I'm actually going to flex my toes towards my nose. Exhale, I'm going to release the foot. And this is actually how my teacher in Chennai teaches the feet. Inhale is exertion, so you're flexing the toes towards the nose. Just one more round. If you want to make it harder for your core, don't use your arms. But you're not going to get as much stretch. So pick your medicine. Do you want to work on sukham, softness, or more stiram, strength? Engage that breath, Ujjayi Pranayama. And just finishing up. And release. Okay, so we seem to be moving in a leg stretching direction. So let's bring our belt, and the reason I love this prop for these stay poses is it allows us to get into that fascia, which can be really tight for some of us, including me, on the bottom of our feet and through the calves in particular, but also those hamstrings, the three of them behind your thigh. So take your belt, and I'm going to show it with prayer position. One of my students taught this to me years ago, and I like it because it doesn't get you gripping the hands, but feel free to use whatever version of holding the belt that you want to use. Try to keep your hips on the ground so that they're not kind of hiking up like this. Try to keep them on the ground. That opposite foot can be bent, and it can even be at the wall like this. So as you exhale, drop that hip down. And inhale, extend it long. Exhale, drop the hip down. Inhale. And I think I could justify both breaths on this one. So you can choose. Drop the hip down. I'm going to do this on an exhale. And then inhale, release. All right, and switch sides. So we're doing this as more of a stay pose after doing a lot of movement. Hopefully that's okay. If it's not, you can keep it moving by pointing and flexing the foot, etc. So it's just staying here with the legs straight. Exhale, drop that left hip down. And inhale. Release. Exhale, drop the hip down, the opposite foot to the wall if you've got one available. Inhale, release. Doing this 4 to 6 times depending on your breath length. And when you're ready, bringing both legs up into the belt. If this is comfortable. Now, try to keep those hips down and maybe bring your feet towards your face. So this is like a supine Paschimottanasana, supine forward bend. Inhale, release. A little bit like halasana, plow pose as well. So it's a bit of a hybrid. I like this for stretching the lower back very deeply. It also stretches the legs and the hamstrings. The backs of the legs here is very connected to your lower back health. The alignment of your lower back is very dependent on the flexibility of your legs. So just keep that tailbone, or lower back, I should say, the tailbone is off, the lower back on the ground as you bring your feet towards you. As you inhale, you can point your toes, and exhale, you can flex them as hard as you can. I've got the belt on the ball of my foot to maximize the stretch. And when you're ready, you can just stay here like this and hang out and just take a break. If this is not relaxing for you, you could put your legs up the wall if you've got one around, or on a chair. I hope you at least all have a chair in your space. I know with our home situations, we're always trying to find whatever works. Now I've got that belt on my ankles. You could have it on your thighs if you prefer. And I'm just doing a rest here after working those legs. You could also put a bolster or a pillow underneath the buttocks to go a little higher. Just focus on the breath. Inhale, the belly expands. Exhale, the belly drops. Inhale, the belly expands like a balloon to the sky. Exhale, that balloon deflates as your lower back sinks into the floor. Now see if you can do that by just observing the natural rise and fall of the breath rather than controlling it. So inhale, let. Exhale, go. Inhale, om. Exhale, namo. Just following the breath, perhaps from the nostrils down to the belly as you inhale, and then exhale from the belly up and out through the nostrils. Just focusing on the belly breath. The chest rises, that's also fine, but put your attention more on the rise and fall of the belly. Inhale, let. Exhale, go. Inhale, om. Exhale, namo. Bringing the legs up like this increases circulation into the legs. And I know most of you know this from past classes, but just a reminder to move your pelvis away. I think I have someone trying to get in, so just stay there. And when you're ready, just coming out of the pose, bending your knees. It's comfortable in this position. Bring your pelvis away a little bit. And then inhale. Can you lift your hips up? And exhale down, just even a little bit. Just see if that feels comfortable. Inhale, lifting up. Your chest is on the ground. Just working the pelvis. Exhale down. This is working towards the classical pose Viparita Karani. You can skip this if you like. Just leave your legs at the wall and bend your knees to your chest and just stay there. Otherwise, if this is comfortable, just doing this as a bit of a counter for the lower back, having been flat on the ground for a while. When you're ready, just turning to your right side and resting. You can go right back to your back and hug your knees into your chest, or if it's comfortable, going into child's pose. And if you like, the knees can be apart. Modification for this, when you show at the wall, just bring your feet apart, angle your feet out. And this is child's pose with the knees apart. This is a modification, just like this, until you can just rest your feet. So if you can't, just bring your knees to your chest, or happy baby, one of those variations, or other poses rather. So each pose will have a different effect according to the choice you make. And when you're ready, just lying on your back. And just resting. I'm going to have my feet parallel and my feet at the wall, but you can just do classical Shavasana, which is with your feet apart. And in this position, we're going to do a body scan, which I believe we started working on last week. So just start by feeling the bottoms of your feet. And feel your left foot and then your right foot, the bottom, the sole of the foot. Now, if you have trouble doing this with your mind, with your mind's eye, just press that foot slightly to the ground. If you're modifying with your legs bent, you just slightly press down with that foot to help you. Just pressing one foot at a time, left, and then right. And when you're ready, can you make it a non-physical experience by just scanning the bottom of the left foot, the bottom of the right foot, I do this in the middle of the night if I wake up and I can't sleep, what I'm teaching you right now, and it's usually I don't make it much past my knees. When you're ready, going to your left ankle and then pendulating to your right ankle, just feeling the weight of the ankle into the ground. If you need to feel it more in your body, just put pressure on that part of your body, just press it down. And then the other side. And there's no problem with that. Some people have a really hard time scanning the body, so you can make it more physical by just moving the body slightly. If it's comfortable, bringing it up to your left calf and then your right calf. And if you're embodying it, you could pull your knee up and press the calf down and then do the other side. Just going left to right. So I'm starting with the left, the receptive side, going to the active side as per the yoga tradition. Chandra left, Surya right, moon and sun. And then behind the left knee, and you could pull up on the thigh and focus on the back of the left knee and then pull up on that right thigh and feel the back of the right knee. You could even lift that ankle off. Or again, can you do it with your mind's eye, just scanning the back of that left knee, back of the right knee. Coming to the hamstrings, the back of the left thigh. Again, if you need to press down, you can pull up on that thigh and focus your attention on the hamstrings pressing down. And then you could do the other side, just activate them by pressing them down, pulling up, or do it with your mind's eye. Left, right, left, right. Into your buttocks, left, buttocks, hips. Again, you can press that left hip down into the floor, then right, you can twist your pelvis a little bit and press one side down at a time. Or can you do it with your mind's eye? Left, right, left, right. Coming to your lower back, left lower back. Again, you can press it down by twisting a little bit, then right, left, right, mind's eye, just left, feeling that left lower back, that right, left, right. Coming to your middle back, left middle back, right middle back, left, right. One more time, physically or just your mind's eye. Left, right. Your left upper back, left, right. Again, you can do that slight twist of the shoulders, drawing the shoulder down if you want to feel the back physically. Left, and then the other side, right. Or just feel the back of the shoulders. Left, feel it sink into the ground. Then right, put your attention on that right upper back. Left, either side of the spine. right. Left shoulder. Again, you can press it down. That helps you. Right shoulder. Left. Right. Feel it with your mind's eye. Left shoulder. Right. Left. Right. Feeling the back of your left arm all the way down to your fingers. Left, just feel that whole arm sinking into the ground. Press it slightly if you want. And then the other side, right, pull from the shoulder down to the back of the hand. Left, right. With your mind's eye, just feeling it if you can. Left back of the hand, arm, right, shoulder, down your arm to the back of your hand. Left, right, to your left neck. If you need to feel it a bit more, you can tuck your chin in and just connect with those neck flexors. You're tucking the chin in and then feeling the left side and then the right side. The left side of the neck, the right side. Try it with just your attention, left, right, left, right, back of your head, left, right. Again, you can press each side a little bit by adding a little twist. Left, right. Feel the back of your head with your attention. Left, right, left, right. Bring your attention to the top of the head and imagine that there is a waterfall flowing down, or if you can, imagine yourself lying in a warm river, soft, warm rocks behind you, supporting your spine, and your head is slightly higher than your heart, so you're slightly propped up by this river. And the water is flowing down from the top of your head all the way down your forehead, your eyes, your cheeks, your ears, your nose, your lips, your chin, your throat, your chest, your shoulders, the fronts of your arms, all the way down to your fingers. And down your chest, down your stomach, down your belly, pelvis, hips, thighs, knees, shins, ankles, arches of the feet, toes, bottoms of your feet, and rest. Start to feel the rise and the fall of the breath. Inhale, let. Exhale, go. Inhale, Om. Exhale, Namo. We're going to stay here for another few minutes just with this meditation, following the rise and fall of the breath as you inhale from the nostrils down to the expanding belly. Exhale from the belly up and out through the nostrils. And in your head, inhale, let. Exhale, go. Inhale, Om. Exhale, Namo. At some point, the mantra might disappear as you move into a state of presence. You can stay here if you like, or if you would like to join me with a closing chant, you can gradually start coming out this pose to a seated position of your choice, or you can just stay on your back and listen and enjoy. I'm choosing Vajrasana just to work on my thighs, but you can choose another position if you like. And in Vajrasana, feel free to put a pillow under the thighs if that's easier for you. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Namaste. Namaskaram. Thank you very much.